right, so today I'm going to take you through a little stability and mobility routine. I'm just using a basic interval timer app. We're going to do 1 minute on and 10 seconds rest. That's because we're not doing anything like super labor intensive here. This isn't the HIIT workout. We're just doing some like mobility and stability work. So we'll go ahead and get started with some cat-cows. So we'll inhale, exhale. Really push away from the floor. Feel that stretch. Just getting things moving. So now we're going to take kind of that same movement, but we're going to go in circles. A little bit in one direction. And about halfway through, we'll change direction. Nice big circles. Getting everything woken up. And switch. Go the opposite direction. Really take your time and try to move through like your full range of motion that you can. Really try and feel everything. It's not a race. All right, so now we're going to do some thread the needle. I'm going to move this actually so I can see it better. All right, so you're just going to take your arm under and up and under and up and under and up. About halfway through, we will switch sides. We're about at the halfway mark. Switch sides. Ooh, there we go. Just getting everything loosened up. Yeah. All right. Now we're going to go into a core stability exercise called a dead bug. So you're going to come, legs 90-degree angle, arms up. We're going to go opposite arm, opposite leg. Really push your lower back into the ground and push your knees up towards the ceiling. Now, if you have an exercise ball, sometimes it's helpful to hold it between your hands and knees to kind of help with the coordination. We're going to go right leg, left arm, left leg. So it's opposite arm, opposite leg. And you want to keep your knees here at this 90-degree angle. Keep pushing your lower back into the ground, driving those knees up to the sky. This one is a lot harder than it looks. but it is so good for the core stability. And since we're here already, we're gonna go into some glute bridges. So you just wanna lift your hips up and keep a neutral spine. You're not trying to get your hips up as high as you can. Just squeeze your glutes to lift them up off the floor, but we still want a neutral spine. So, you know, none of this. Keep it nice and neutral. We don't want any arching in the lower back. Just nice squeeze. A little hold at the top is nice. Now, if you want a little bit more challenge, you can turn this into a march. There you go, single leg. Another great core stability move we're gonna do is bird dogs, and it's gonna follow that same opposite arm, opposite leg, like the dead bugs. Really wanna keep a neutral spine here. Keep your shoulders strong. Don't let your shoulders creep up to your ears. Keep your shoulders pushed away from your ears. And remember to breathe. All right. I'm going to take a break from that and just do something a little more mobility focused. So I sit just like this. We're going to do some internal hip rotations, moving into the next movement we're going to do, which is going to kind of combine this hip internal rotation movement along with a hamstring stretch. For now, we're just going to get those hips nice and warmed up. All right, so we're gonna go one leg in front of us, tuck the other one in that internal hip rotation. You wanna keep your hips pointed towards your foot here and just stretch. Now I've always had very famously inflexible, not very famously, it's just always my entire life I've had inflexible hamstrings. In high school I was in color guard. And I was one of the few girls who could do like a full center split, like pancake thing, lay flat on the ground in a center split. But I could not touch my toes. It's funny how that works. So just keep breathing here. Make sure your spine is nice and tall. I don't want slouching. And if you need to, you can grab onto your shin if this is too intense for you. We don't want anything to hurt. You want to feel the stretch, but it shouldn't hurt. Unless you're just a wimp like me. I think all stretching is, it's not that it hurts, it's just uncomfortable and I don't like the discomfort. But you know what? We got to do it. And we're going to switch sides. The internal rotation on the other side. Hips pointed forward. Spine nice and long. And grab. Find your point where you're grabbing, either you know, somewhere along your leg, or if you can reach your toes. If you can extend further, that is great. This is where I'm gonna stay. Hamstring stretches especially I hate them so much. And I don't do them as often as like other stretches. That's probably why I've never been very flexible from this angle, but you know, nobody's perfect. And I have turned off my AC unit in my hotel room so that it wouldn't be running loudly and obnoxiously during this video. So if I start sweating visibly, because I can already feel myself sweating, it's because the room is hot. Because I don't have the AC running. All right. Now we're gonna go into a pigeon stretch. So take one leg out in front of you at a 90-degree angle. The other leg behind you, nice and long. Now, if you want a more intense stretch, you can bring your foot at a more 90-degree angle. If you want something less intense, you can bring it in closer. And again, you should not feel pain with this movement. If you do, you should stop and consult a professional, like a physical therapist or your doctor or something. See if something might be going on. Now, if you need something a little bit more intense, you can come down to the ground. Really hold that stretch here. And we're going to switch sides. Boop. Sometimes you find after you hold the stretch for a little bit, you can go a little bit deeper. So we're gonna do kind of like the same thing that we did on the last side, or at least I am. I'm gonna stand, or not stand, but be up on my arms nice and tall for a little bit, and then towards the end of the stretch, fold more towards the ground. Sometimes you'll find that maybe one side feels tighter than the other. Go ahead and take it down to the ground. You can stay tall if you need to. Okay. Move on to a straddle stretch. I think my mat isn't moving while I'm doing this video, but that's okay. All right. Gonna sit nice and tall. Lean forward a little bit. If you need to support yourself with your hands, absolutely, go ahead. You want to really think about keeping your toes pointed up towards the ceiling. Don't let them collapse here. You can use your glute muscles to kind of roll that out there, if you can see what I'm doing. You just want to keep the toes pointing up towards the sky. We're going to get some movement into our sides next. We're going to stay in the straddle position. Remember, keep those toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Reach over, feel a nice stretch, and switch. And you want to keep your chest open towards the wall in front of you while you do this. Don't let yourself collapse here. Keep everything nice and open. Try and think about keeping it in line, like with your legs. Just keep that nice and open here. And with your like non-working arm, whatever you want to call it, the one that's not reaching overhead, of course you can grab your toes or you can tuck it, whatever flows right for you. Bounce it in here. Now we're going to get into a frog position. I'm going to show it to you from this angle. Spread nice and wide. Oh. And if you need something more intense, you can sit back into it. And remember to breathe. Do like a little crisscross. Lay one leg, your ankle on top of your knee, on your opposite leg. You can give yourself a gentle push here. You can lean forward. You can sit tall. You can bring this leg closer or further away, depending on if you want more or less of a stretch. Something on my foot there. Keep breathing. And switch. Do something standing. Probably, yeah, you're not going to be able to see my top half, but it's okay. We're just going to do like a classic quad stretch here. If you need something to hold on to, you can hold on to something. If you can safely do it without holding on to something, this is great for like working on your balance. But if you cannot safely do this without holding on to something, please hold on to something. Or at least just be near something so you can grab it if you need to. gonna switch sides. Whoops. There we go. All right, and then we're gonna come back down to the floor to finish off with a calf stretch on each side. We're gonna do this with a bent knee. So come here and lean forward. Keep those hips pointing forward. Don't let them open up to the side. Point them forward. You can lean forward here if you want. You can stand tall. To help you get a little bit of a deeper stretch, you can kind of push in here. And again, this shouldn't hurt. If you do feel pain, please stop. Consult a professional. I have a little bit of anterior tibial tendonitis going on, so I do feel a little like twinge in my inside ankle here. And of course there are exercises that are good to rehabilitate that sort of thing. Should you be feeling any kind of pain like that, you should consult like a physical therapist. I know a thing or two about corrective exercise, but I am not qualified to rehab injuries. That is out of my scope of practice. All right. Switch sides. And this will be our final one. Oh, there we go. Stand tall for a little bit. If you stand tall, you're gonna kind of feel more of a stretch here in your hip flexor versus like leaning forward. You're really gonna lean into this, when you're stretching your calves in this bent knee position, you're stretching your soleus versus in a straight leg position, you're stretching your gastrocnemius. It's just two different muscles that you have in your calves. Today for this routine, we're only getting one style of calf stretch in, but you know, the key is mixing in different things over time. So I'll do more of these videos and we'll get like all of that variety in. All right, that's it. Great work today. We're gonna keep it up.